What's up guys, Xygor here, and Season 3 of Diablo 4 just came out this week, and with confidence after playing the Hammer the Ancients Barbarian again, I can say that this is the most powerful build in the game for any class. This build is still ripping through Nightmare dungeons, ripping through Nightmare vaults, as you could see in the intro. It one-shots Uber Lilith and Duriel, and you'll just be able to destroy everything with this build. So this is going to be an all-encompassing build guide. I'm going to get into the gear to select, the skills to take, your gems, your expertise, the skill tree, your Paragon board, and the Seneschal construct stones, so the season mechanic. We'll get into that part too. So please subscribe to my channel and like this video, but let's just get right into it. So as far as the gear, we're going to have Harlequin Crest, or the Shako. I was lucky enough to get this from Duriel. If you can't get this, you want to use a Tusk Helm of Juritz the Mighty as your helm. Both of them are extremely good, but Harlequin Crest is just an amazing item. I got really lucky this season with Duriel, got both that and Grandfather within 100 runs, so that's incredible. For chest, we want a chest that's purely mitigation with disobedience on it. I don't have the best stats on it. Instead of the max life here, I would have rather had damage reduction while close. But it's still not a bad chest, but you want disobedience. With the gauntlets, we have Relentless Berserker's aspect. This is not perfect stats either. Instead of the critical strike chance against injured enemies, I would rather have strength there. But other than that, this is a pretty good item. This is going to help keep your berserking up. For pants, we got Tybalt's Will. Doesn't have the best survivability, but the stats are great. You get a lot of damage, and if you get a high roll on the damage reduction from close, which I do, you still do get some mitigation there. With the boots, we have Ghostwalker, and this is for sheer utility. It's going to make you a lot quicker. I have movement speed and then 2 resistances. Ideally, you probably want lightning and poison, or lightning and fire. 2 out of those 3, lightning, poison, and fire, are the best to have here. And damage reduction while injured, lots of survivability there. For the weapons, we have a 2-hand blunt bludgeoning weapon that has ideally all stats, strength, damage while berserking, and overpower. I have core skill damage here, but that's fine. Still a very well-rolled item, and we have limitless for the damage. For your one-handers, you want both maces, and you want them both to have the stats that this mace has. All stats, strength, overpower, and damage while berserking. One of them you want to have the Ancestral Force aspect. It's going to make your Hammer of the Ancients stronger, and Quake. And Earth Strikers. Earth Strikers is going to allow you to do a lot more damage for your overpowers, and it's super useful. Grandfathers are going to be your best 2-hand slashing weapon, but if you don't have this is why I put this in the video too. You can use Edge Masters on a sword with the same stats we want on all the weapons, but Grandfather edges it out and you get a lot more damage and life here. With the amulet, we want Banished Lord's Talisman. Try to get one that's 120%. And critical strike chance. Those are going to be the most important stats on this. Ideally, mine could roll a little bit better, but this is still a solid one. With our rings, we want 1 Bold Chieftain's Band with crit strike chance, damage while berserking, max fury, and resource generation. Best 4 stats. And Bold Chieftain is going to allow your shouts to be on cooldown much more frequently. While you're leveling, you probably want Echoing Fury for the additional fury, but you don't need that once you have it all spec'd out like this. Other than that, we want a Ring of Red Fear. This is going to give you awesome damage, and it's just super useful. For the expertise, we're taking the 2-handed axe expertise. Just gives us a lot more damage if we have a sword. If we have an axe, you want to take something else, either the 1-handed mace or 2-handed sword, but I have sword. For gems, we want red in both armor and jewelry. We want it in both weapons and armor. because in armor it gives you more life, and in your weapons it gives you more overpower damage. For your jewelry, you want to plan this out so you're basically maximizing your resistances as best you can. I have 4 at 70% max right now, and then the cold res is not as high, unfortunately. But cold res, in my opinion, is one of the least useful. Cold and shadow are probably slightly less useful than the rest. So you basically want to toy with whatever colors is going to max out the most here. Let's go to the skill tree. Skill tree here, we'll pull it out. I'm going with lunging strike and taking enhanced lunging strike. This is going to be your basic skill you're going to use. Then we have Hammer of the Ancients maxed out up to Furious Hammer of the Ancients for tons of damage. Coming down to the defensive skills, we have 1 point in Imposing Presence for more life, and then 3 points in Martial Vigor for additional damage reduction. Then we have 1 point in Rallying Cry up through Tactical Rallying Cry. We have 1 point in Outburst, and this is only really to get Tough as Nails, which makes enemies bleeding and then gives you both the ability for more mitigation if you have damage reduction while bleeding, plus it slows the enemies via Hamstring. And then we have Challenging Shout, 1 point through Tactical Challenging Shout. This is your bread and butter defense. And we have War Cry up through Power War Cry for that extra damage. We have 3 points in Booming Voice to extend our shouts. 3 points in Swiftness. Some people don't take this, but I like to take this just for mobility. You're going to be able to get through the dungeons much quicker. At some point in the game when you're all decked out, you just want that additional speed, and you don't really need much instead of that. Then I have 2 points in Aggressive Resistance, so more damage reduction, and 2 points in Prolific Fury for Fury generation. Then we have 3 in Pit Fighter, just your additional damage and also some distant reduction. 1 point in Hamstring just makes your bleeding effects slow healthy enemies, just gives you a little bit more damage reduction from enemies that are bleeding. And then coming down here to Ultimate, we have 3 points in Heavy Handed, 3 points in Wallop, and 3 points in Brute Force. So all these skills are going to give you just a ton more damage with Hammer of the Ancients. Then we have 1 point in Tempered Fury, and then 3 points in Furious Impulse, and 3 points in Invigorating Fury. This one's insanely powerful, and actually I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been nerfed. It allows you to stay alive because we are spending so much fury, and this just keeps you healed right up. And then this is just going to give you more fury. You're going to do a basic lunging strike, then you're going to do Hammer of the Ancients, get more fury. Our ultimate is Unbridled Rage. It's really the only choice here. It's really good. Going to the Paragon board. Alright, so let's just do a summary here. So we're going to, starting board, we're going to take Exploit here. And by the way, you can check out the build guide in the description below if you need specifics on this. We have Exploit in the first board, and we're coming up to the Warbringer board, and in this one we're taking Martial. This got a buff this patch to basically, after every shout, your non-shout skills are reduced by 4 seconds, the cooldowns are, and this is stupid powerful in getting up Wrath of the Berserker. Some people add Charge into this build, you can get that up quicker too, or other skills, but getting up that Wrath of the Berserker is awesome. We're also getting Hungering Fury, Core Reserve, and Conditioned here. Going to the next board, this is the Carnage board, and this one we have Ire. Ire is going to give you a ton of damage. Increased damage while berserking is one of the best stats in the game for barbarians because it's multiplicative damage, and it's just super ridiculously strong. We're also taking some rare nodes like Berserker, Fierce, Brash, and Enraged. Going to the north board here, we have Weapons Master. Swapping weapons is going to give you a ton of fury. We're building a lot of max fury, so 4% is going to be a lot every time. And then we have Denial. Going to the south of Carnage board, we have the Blood Rage board. We're taking Crusher here, tons more damage with maces and overpower. It's really powerful in this build as well. We're taking Revel, Grit, and Enraged, in addition to the Blood Rage. And then to the east of Carnage, we are going with the Decimator board, taking Decimator for that extra damage boost here. We're putting in Dominate here for more overpower damage. Alternatively, you could use Wrath or Territorial here. I like Dominate, but all those options are very good. Undaunted is also very good. And then we're taking Arrogance. So here's the Paragon board. Again, check the link in the description below if you want more specifics. Alright, let's talk Seneschal Construct Stones. So I spent all of today grinding. There was a patch that boosted the ability to get a lot more stones a lot quicker, so for a few hours I just blasted like crazy. I got everything up to level 10 except for Genesis and Evernight. For this you have to kill Malthus and get lucky with a drop, but probably do that later. But for the two I'm taking is Flash of Adrenaline. This is just going to give you more damage, and right now I'm supporting it with Tactical Support, Fortify Support, and Duration Support. Kind of building this out as a utility because the Seneschal is not that strong. And then I have Tempest supported by Efficiency Support, Resource Support, and Safeguard Support. But when I do get Evernight and Genesis, both of those will be inserted. I haven't decided which ones to insert it in yet, but this is a good setup that's going to give you a little bit of utility, and it's about the best you're going to do right now. Alright, now let's just get into a little bit of the gameplay. I'm just going to run through a Nightmare Vault and just show you how to play this build. Alright, we have the Vault of Cinders here. Basically, I use Wrath of the Berserker right away because we want to be able to use the shots and get that on cooldown. You want to generally space your shots out. The only reason why I didn't at the start was because I was taking a little bit of damage, so I used Challenging. But generally you want them pretty spaced out. Alright. Just plowing through here. Shout is down, so I use Challenging. I'm not even picking up most loot because it's not that good, but Sigils, I guess I should pick up. Go through the teleporter here. Cinders is the best one in my mind, so that's why we're doing it. Hit this 3 times. Let's just kill everything, collect the shattered stones. Don't worry about the items on the ground. Roll through here. I took 1 hit, but that's fine. Got the Wrath there. Should have used that before I shouted, but that's alright. Basically just tap everything. Basic one-shots. Doing some damage here, clearing my path. Just come down here, collect the stones. Here's the fun part. We're just gonna run through here. I took that damage, but that's alright. As you can see, you can pretty much one-shot everything. It's pretty ridiculous. And you gotta just watch your health though. Take 1 tap there. We're almost to the end already. So here we are. This is gonna be the fire thing. This is where you want to stand to start. It'll always be on this side. Then I'm gonna move here. You basically just keep alternating on the Cinders one. The pattern's pretty easy to memorize once you see it a few times. And each of the vaults have different patterns, but I think this was one of the easiest. Just killing everything. Took a few hits there, but that's alright. And there he is. We get the bonus chest, collect this. Boom, boom. And open up all the chests. Yay. Tons of stuff. So that's how you do a Nightmare Vault with the Hammer of the Ancients build. Alright guys, there it is. The full Season 3 Hammer of the Ancients Barbarian build guide. Are you guys having fun with this build? Let me know in the comments below, and I also want to hear if you found any better way to optimize it than I have. Also let me know in the comments. Please also like this video and subscribe to my channel for more retro gaming and Diablo 4 content. See you in the next video.